Brace yourselves! The coldest temperatures of the whole year will be next week, and that's because the polar vortex is going to wallop us with yet another blast of cold air at the end of January. I'm going to tell you if the polar vortex is going to affect your area in just a second, but first, the intro. Welcome back to your YouTube weather report. I'm Charlotte Dobre. This is I.O. where we make the news more entertaining, and I'm Charlotte Dobre, queen of potatoes, mother of spuds. Hit that subscribe and notification bell for daily news updates, and follow us on the gram. Our frigid friend the polar vortex is about to make another cold entrance. If you haven't seen our previous video on the polar vortex, check out the video that's clickable on your screen right now. But here's the deal. Last weekend, a huge chunk of North America and Europe experienced extremely cold temperatures. I know I went outside in the polar vortex and my face hurt. Never again. I mean, we Canadians are kind of like used to super cold winters, but this was bad even for us. And that's saying something, okay? Like, I will never leave my igloo ever again. But get ready, because it seems that polar vortex has not completed its mission to turn us all into human icicles. It is coming back with a vengeance. Meteorologist Jeff Weber says that it's going to get really cold at the end of January and early February. Experts are saying that the end of January will bring the coldest temperatures of this year, possibly even record-breaking. And that's because the polar vortex that usually scrooges around in the Arctic Circle has been knocked off balance. The polar vortex first made headlines 5 years ago. Basically, it's a massive swirling vortex of cold air, rotating around at the top of our planet until the return of the sun in the spring. It's knocked off balance by fickle weather patterns and storms, which cut into the vortex and allow the cold air to spill out and travel all the way down to Canada, the United States, and some parts of Europe. It first showed signs of disturbance in early January, but there's actually another culprit as well. I know a lot of you are down there in the comments already like, so much for global warming. Don't lie, I saw your comments in the last video, you deniers. It's important to note that global warming is actually one of the main causes. Dramatic warming events that occur 20 miles up in the atmosphere also knock the vortex off balance. A band of warm air cuts into the big puddle of cold air, according to John Martin, atmospheric scientist. We don't know a whole lot about what causes these dramatic warming events, but many experts believe that they could be evidence of climate change. The Arctic is warming over twice as fast as the rest of the globe. The sea ice that covers the Arctic Ocean is melting. Arctic sea ice is reflective, and according to research, without this ice cover, more heat escapes from the oceans, which then cuts into the polar vortex. According to mathematician Marlene Kretschmer, over the last decades, the stratospheric polar vortex has become weaker and less stable, so Arctic air masses can escape more easily toward the North American and Eurasian continents. News Channel 5 said that the coming weeks could bring one of the most extreme cold air outbreaks in years. So is this blast of cold air going to affect where you live? Ontario is expecting 20 centimeters of snow on Tuesday. On Tuesday, January 29th, the polar vortex will plunge toward the Great Lakes, so any and all states around that area will be f***ed. These temperatures will be 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit lower than normal. Negative 40 in Ohio, and negative 3 to negative 12 in Kentucky, and in North Dakota, brace yourselves, negative 63 degrees Fahrenheit. And yes, in case you're wondering, this is very dangerous. Even if an air temperature states that it will be negative 20 or negative 30, that doesn't account for the wind chill, which will make it feel much colder. Winds are expected to be 30 miles per hour or higher. Invest in extremely warm clothing, get out your big puffers people, layer up with long johns, and make sure your hands and face are covered. These temperatures could easily give you frostbite. Honestly, I'm super worried about all the homeless people who don't have a place to go in this weather. I know in Toronto, the freezing winter killed 100 homeless people in 2017. Anyways guys, that is something to think about for ya. Stay warm out there, but for now, I'm gonna wrap up this video with some comment replies from my last video about the polar vortex. Samira said, "This is what I get for complaining about no snow." This is all your fault, Samira! Tacos Forever said, "I left my coffee outside for 2 minutes to cool down, and when I went to go get it, it was an iced coffee cube." Or iced coffee popsicle? Genius! Marionette said, "I live in Scotland and apparently it's supposed to be really bad snow for 1 month. As far as I know, the vortex will affect the UK and Europe too, but check your weather there, bud." High Voltage says, "Guys, it's okay. It's only the Ice King event. Worst case scenario, we got a bunch of ice zombies." Worst case scenario, ice zombies? That is a pretty bad worst case, okay? Master of the Universe said, "Here's what you can do, buy flamethrowers, millions of flamethrowers." Yeah guys, let's all get a flamethrower and just set it to high, point it and fire it at the wind. Polar vortex ain't got nothing on me. Foxpack said, "Ooh wow, so fake. You all have to be fools to believe this. Are you guys kids or something? This channel is lying to us. Why believe her?" See, there's this really cool little thing, it's kinda new, it's called Google. What you do is you type in the words polar vortex in Google, press enter, and then come talk to me about lying. Okay? Are you sure your name isn't Fox News? Colby the Cat said, "Hopefully it cancels my school." That would be nice. I hate school. Welcome to the end screen. This means the video's over. Click that playlist to keep watching I.O. and leave a like, sub, and turn on those notifications so I can see you in the next I.O. video.